Hello, welcome to Nightmares Gaming. So, I'm going to be playing Wrath of the Righteous on core difficulty. I would go show you, but then I would have to leave the screen, and, well, yeah, I don't want to go through all this again. Alright, so, I'm going to be playing an Arcanist. Advantages of an Arcanist. Why am I playing Arcanist over a Sorcerer or Wizard? Well, Wizard, technically speaking, Wizard would probably be the better option. But I hate spell slots. I hate the mechanic of spell slots. Arcanist fixes most of that issues. Alright, well, you're like, alright, well, why don't you play Sorcerer then if you hate spells, how the Wizard spell slots work? Well, Sorcerer has a different issue, and that goes against the theme of what I think a spellcaster should be. I do plan on trying to learn every single arcane spell available. That is the plan. I really wish there was a class that was like Arcanist, but divine. Just what Arcanist does, cast the same way, but divine. And then I would go Mystic Theurge, but I'm not doing that because, well, there's no class that functions like Arcanist. Now, that being said, the advantage of Arcanist, the way he casts spells. How does an Arcanist cast spells? Well, he casts spells like a Sorcerer and a Wizard. Okay, you may be like, okay, wait a minute, how does that work? Come on, so Wizards cast by preparing spell slots. So if you want to cast Magic Missile multiple times per day, you got to prepare it multiple times per day. Sorcerer, on the other hand, doesn't do any of that. They just have spells that they know, and then they can cast any other spells they know up to a certain number of times per day. Well, an Arcanist has a prepared spell list, and out of the prepared spell list that becomes their known spells, they can cast that spell up to a certain number of times. But they have to prepare it first, but they only have to prepare it once. So instead of me having 5 Magic Missiles, because I'm going to cast Magic Missile a lot, I now have 1 Magic Missile, and can still cast Magic Missile a lot. So that's why I'm going with Arcanist over Wizard. Now, other than the spell casting, let's talk about other than the spell casting class features. Well, the Wizard gets their schools. Now, schools are good, but bad at the same time, depending on which school you use. So, this is the reason why I'm not playing Chloromancer. Chloromancer? How you pronounce that? I am planning on going Lich as a mythic path, so Necromancy is going to be a thing. Though, that being said, Chloromancer is bad. Sure, Chloromancer does give you the ability to take damage, give all your minions a +4 strength and constitution. By the way, undead don't benefit from constitution. So really all they're getting is strength. Now, that being said, you do damage to yourself. That's the only thing you're getting out of Chloromancer. You're also getting the worst School of Magic as your focus School of Magic in the game. It gives you 3 abilities that are basically useless in all situations except for 1. And 2 when you get to max level. Okay? It's not a good. It's not good. It's not good. If I was gonna go Wizard, I would probably end up going Divination focus because boosts initiative. Now you may be going, that's not that much important. Initiative as a spellcaster is very important, especially when you only have 5 HP. We'll come back to that. So, alright. Now, I just got done harping about the schools of magic being the necromancy one being pretty useless. Well, Arcanist gets Arcanist exploits. Arcanist exploits in general suck because usually most of them are a little bit of damage. That's what most of them do, or something completely ineffective. Arcane Barrier, for example, it gives you your level plus your charisma modifier as temporary hit points as a swift action. So, okay, let's put it this way. At level 1, it's 4 HP. With this character, because I got Charisma of 16. Now, if I was able to get 20 in my Charisma, then it would be... oh, man, brain. 5 plus 1 is 6. Yay, brain. It would be plus 6 more HP. Get mine at level 2. It goes up by 1. At level 3, it goes up by 2. So, you know, it doesn't scale very well. It's terrible. So, really, there's only a few things I want out of this. Main thing I want is Potent Magic. Potent Magic and Familiar. That's it. That's what I want out of this. So that's only 2. Quick Study is useful. It has a use, but it's kind of a niche use. It's more along the lines of, I don't really want to rest, but the spells I have prepared right now aren't useful, so I need to swap out my spells. And in this game, Quick Study is actually really came in very handy when my previous playthrough, or when I was playing the game earlier, where it was just like, oh, hey, because I didn't know what else to grab. I was kind of didn't really have a super fleshed out build. But anyway, so with that being said, going on from there, the main thing we're going to get next is, so like, these are pretty ineffective, so we want to get out of these as soon as possible. You can get spell resistance. Okay, spell resistance is useful. It's great. Any amount of spell resistance is great. The problem is it costs an Arcanist point for a very short duration spell resistance, aka it lasts a number of rounds equal to your Charisma modifier. And I think it takes standard action to use. I might be wrong on that. Even if it's a swift action, it's still just too short duration. Costs too much. You can do, like later on it becomes better, but I went out of these because it's just, there's too many of these to be useful. Really, what you want to do is you kind of want to use one of these other ones. School Savant is what I would select, but it crashes the game because it's added by a mod. The mod is great, but it does other things, and that's why that's installed, other than just adding School Savant. Now, we'll talk about mods here in a bit. But, so School Savant isn't all that great. I would love it to be a little bit not break the game, not crash. And everything else in here is, this doesn't work. Eldritch Font does not work. Don't ask me why. It just doesn't. It has a class feature here on it that gives you, well, it reduces the amount of spells you can prepare, but it increases the number of spells you can cast per day by 1. Very good. I would love to have it. I would rather use Eldritch Font, but it doesn't work. It doesn't give you the extra spell cast. It takes away your spell slot, but it doesn't give you the extra cast. And then it gives you an ability that exhausts you, or fatigues you, and then exhausts you. And you can buff you, and it gets various buffs. So, Elemental Master, again, another one of those that would be great. I would probably go with it if I wasn't playing Necromancer. And so I'm just gonna be using Necromancers more than anything else, which ain't gonna do fire, lightning, ice, or acid. Phantasmal Mage, great for if you're going a whole lot of illusions. I'm not. White Mage, Necromancer, so cure spells aren't going to be helping me later into the game. But I would go it, because it would help me. Maybe I should go it. I don't know. I'm going to leave it alone. There's no point in me going it right now. There just isn't. So, moving on. So there's the advantages of that. Disadvantages is, you usually get way too many of these and not very many effective things to use it for. So, your greater exploits consist of greater spell resistance, Hellfire Ray, Ice Tomb, Lingering Acid, Dancing Electricity, and Burning Flame. These are all bad, as far as I'm concerned. All of these are bad except for this. Ice Touch is Lingering Acid, again, So all that's meh. This can go away. I don't care about this. Magical Supremacy. 20th level, the Arcanist learns how to convert her arcane reservoir into spells and back again. She can cast any spell she has prepared by expending a number of points from her arcane reservoir equal to the level of the spell to be cast instead of expending a spell slot. Okay. Cool, but mythic paths do exist in this game, so that's not as useful because mythic paths exist. Also, your number of points aren't going to be all that high, mainly due to the fact that, well, your casting stat is intelligence. Okay, since it goes into stat distribution, we'll talk about that in a bit. Your casting stat is intelligence, but all your class features are charisma. So obviously the charisma is going to be a lot lower than your casting stat because your casting stat is what matters because you're a caster. So anyway, so to get around all those issues and just boil it down to basic functionality, and that is going to be +2 caster level or +2 DC, depending on what I need. With this plus potent magic, get a familiar. We're going to grab a familiar next at 3. Then we're going to grab probably one of the crafting, medic magic, because there is Lore Master. Now, Lore Master is a great little class in this game. Normally, I wouldn't go for it. I would go for something else. I would go for a different, anything else. Eldritch Knight potentially could be better. Gets perception. Eldritch Knight has the downside of not getting 1 caster level, but the only thing you need to get into it is martial weapon proficiency. Gives you a buttload of HP, whole lot of BAB because it's a full BAB class, and that's not super important, but could be very useful. If I was planning on going this build, I would. Eldritch Knight is just way better, technically speaking, just from a technical standpoint. Hell Knight Sinfer, or Sinfer, I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, Hell Knight. The Hell Knight caster variant. Alright, got some pretty cool, useful things in there if I was planning on going heavy armor. I'm not. Not too bad to get into, just requires some arcane armor training. So it's just not. There are some useful things in it, but I don't particularly benefit from them. Mystic Theurge. Well, Mystic Theurge is a bit of the interesting thing, and I can't figure out what class, if I were to go it, which is, I would like to, technically speaking, Mystic Theurge. There's just not a class here that I would want to go as to get into it. Cleric would be my best option, but I'm not interested in what Cleric offers. So I want something that offers a little bit more or something different. Oracle, I don't want to deal with an Oracle curse, especially when I'm not going to get the benefits out of it. So it's really just Cleric at that point. Druid, I think Druid gets full casting, but I'm not a big fan of like the Druid spell list in general. So there's that. I don't know. Like I said, I can't figure out what class I would go if I were to go Mystic Theurge. Dragon Disciple. Yeah, well, Dragon Disciple is cool. Would help fix my low strength. But I don't have a reason to go it. I just don't. Arcane Trickster. I'm not gaining anything from it that really makes me go, ah, yes, I want this. I want to invest like 4 levels into Rogue so that I can get Sneak Attack. So, Lore Master seems like the best option to me, mainly due to the fact that you're getting more skill points like a lot of skill points. You're getting Persuasion as a class skill, which is super useful, and you're getting I've tried recording this a couple of times now, and I've yawned every time. Okay, so Lore Master gives you ability to cast third level spells, or you need to be able to cast third level spells to get into it. You need 3 of the following features: Scribe Scroll, Brew Potion, or any of the meta magics. Bolsters in there. Cool. Okay. Any of the meta magics. I don't know what completely normal spell does. Then you need to have 1 skill focus and 1 of the knowledges, and 7 ranks in 1 of the following skills. Well, I'm gonna have pretty much 7 ranks in all of them, so we'll work with what we got. All right, so I'm planning on going full into this just because the things I get out of this is way more useful than the things I get out of Arcanist. So the question is, do I want to do a level dip anywhere at some point? Because I could and not lose much. Like Eldritch Knight, there are advantages to Eldritch Knight. There are advantages to Dragon Disciple. Hell Knight Sinfer also has advantages, but all 3 of those, Eldritch Knight is the only one that's not going. Is the only one sitting there going, okay, you don't have to go all into me. I'm just for extra HP and extra HP and extra BAB. So after I get out of that particular class, I might hop into Eldritch Knight. Heck, actually, I might be able to go into Eldritch Knight sooner. 3rd level spells. We unlock 3rd level spells at level 6. So I could go, but I need to get I would need to get weapon proficiency. Man, I'm already theory crafting. I wasn't planning on theory crafting. I was just planning on telling you guys what I'm playing. But I'm still trying to figure it out. Theory crafting. Mystic Theurge. Like I said, Mystic Theurge would be the one I would go. I want to do a Mystic Theurge build at some point, but I don't know what Divine class to go, because I'm not a big fan of any of them. Like, we're looking at Cleric. That's what I'm looking at. Cleric. But you need Wisdom. And then there's Oracle. But then you have to deal with the Oracle's Curse. And, like, I don't want to deal with any of the Oracle's curses. Is there anything... See, if I convert it to casting off Charisma, or one of these classes to casting off Charisma, definitely would probably go Mystic Theurge. What's the class skills you get from Mystic Theurge? Perception. And I know Oracle cast off of... Oracle gives you Persuasion, right? Does. Yes. But I believe these also don't give you very many skill points. Okay, well anyway. Yeah, we're just going to leave that alone. Alright, the plan and build right now might change at some point. But the plan to build right now is Lore Master. How am I going to get into Lore Master? Well, this is going to be a crafting feat. This is going to be a meta magic. And this is also going to be a meta magic. Or the other crafting feat. I could grab the other crafting feat, or I could grab another meta magic. I don't know which is more useful, because I'm going to grab craft scrolls here, and then the only one that'd be left would be craft potions. And craft potions is well, kind of sucks as a thing, because it's the most inefficient way of spending gold. Then you have... So, that being said, then at level 8 we'll go into Lore Master. That's the plan. Lore Master at 8. Once I go into Lore Master, there's a few things in Lore Master that I want to grab, and hopefully they're fixed so they work. Anything in Lore Master is better than these, just generally speaking, because they actually benefit you. You're getting something more akin to what a feat does versus what these do, which is not a feat. Once we get out of Lore Master, like, so that'll put us at 17. We'll have 3 levels to figure out what we're going to do with that. We'll probably go into Eldritch Knight or Dragon Disciple. Sure, Dragon Disciple, I'm going to lose a few caster levels. Like 1 or 2. But that's way more useful. Hell Knight Sinfer. Could go that. I don't gain anything. Yeah, I don't gain anything if I do that, though. So, in all honesty, I like Arcanist because of the way it casts. That's it. That's the reason why I like Arcanist. Other than that, I don't like Arcanist. I think the class is kind of a crap class. Yeah, I mean, it's not crap. It's a caster, so, you know, there's all of that. The way it casts. Anyway, so we're also going to be an elf. No, yeah, elf. We're an elf. Why are we an elf? Because of magic. This game is filled with demons. Half these demons have... At level 10, we're running into demons that have 35 spell resistance. Okay? Okay? So, you don't have elven magic. It's not that you need it. You don't need it. It's only a +2. I just want it because I don't... There's no reason not to try and get it. If you can. Like, I would go human. More than likely, I would go human over elf. But since there are so many enemies that have spell resistance, having that extra +2 to getting through spell resistance, not necessarily a must-have, but to me a must-have. Because you're going to get spell pen, greater spell pen, plus this. So that's going to give you +6 to your caster level. And then you're going to get, more likely, you're going to get the feat from Mythic, the spell penetration Mythic, which you're going to add your Mystic level to this, which at the time at which you probably are going to get it is going to be like 2 or 3. When you start running into those enemies, you're going to be about 3. So, you're going to have 3 plus 6. So it's going to put you at 9. Plus 9 to your caster level, which is going to be 10. So that's going to put you at a caster level of 9. That's going to put you at a 19 plus a d20. You know, now you're looking at you can possibly beat the spell resistance when you come across those enemies that have spell resistance 35. Versus, no, you're not. You're still not, but, you know, you at least are like, I have a chance. But anyway, so, going elf because of elven magic. Keen Senses is decent, +2 to perception checks, very useful. Elven immunities, +2 saving throws against spells, against enhancement, or enchantment spells, and effects. And you're immune to sleep effects. I don't think I've been hit by a sleep spell throughout my time playing, so that probably won't come up, but I have it just in case. Well, for familiarity, we're trading that out for Arcane Focus, gives you +2 to concentration checks. Not like game breaking, but it's more useful than the weapon familiarity when you don't use martial weapons, because you'll visit Harry. Blightborn, gets rid of elven immunities, gets rid of elven magic. No. Fenrir Elves changes your stat distribution for your racial stats. Gives you dexterity and wisdom. -2 constitution, so you trade out your intelligence for wisdom. Okay. Nah. Elves with this racial trait have the bonus movement speed of 35. Okay, so you can move an extra 5 feet per round. Okay. Gets rid of your elven weapon familiarity. That would be useful, but I would rather have the concentration. Just saying. Lore Master gets rid of Keen Senses and Elven Magic, so no. Moonkiss, Elven Immunities, and Keen Senses. Could be useful. It gives you a +1 bonus to saving throws. Maybe. Maybe for keen senses and elven immunities. Definitely for elven immunities. I would trade out up for elven immunities. Sleep, like I said, hasn't came up very often. And getting a +2 bonus to one particular school of magic. Okay. But just having a +1 to everything? Pretty good. Vigilant. Elven magic, you lose your strongest racial bonus, your racial feature, racial trait for +2 dodge bonus to AC against chaotic creatures. Not bad, because everything in this game is going to be chaotic to some degree, because demons. But not good either. Not something I want to trade out +2 spell pen for. Maybe I'm overrating the spell pen. Maybe. Healer. For the background. Why? It converts your lore nature and lore religion to scale off of intelligence. And gives you a +1 in both of those. Eventually will turn into a +2. Should turn into a +2, I think. Maybe not. We'll find out. Everything else is just not super useful. You're like, I'm going Lich, so you're like, oh, why aren't you going with the Necromancer? +3 hit points on your undead that you summon is not going to make any difference. And that's all that does. Like, I'll go read over it real quick. Necromancer. Lord Religion, and +3 bonus to hit points. To their hit points. Yeah, no. It's terrible. It doesn't do anything. Stat distribution. There you go. 7 strength. We're not going to be using strength because why would we use strength? Dexterity 14 for the +2. It's better than nothing. Con at 16. The question is, right? Here's the question. Do I not have the bonus to dexterity and not take a massive penalty to HP, or do I have the bonus dexterity? In the long run, this will be more useful. In the run to get to the end of the game, this will be more useful. Because we're going to have no HP. Like, we're literally going to have no HP. Because we have the smallest hit dice in the game. So, we're getting... At first level, we're getting 6 +1. So, that's 7 because of favorite class bonus. -2 because con. So, that takes us down to a 5. We're going to gain 4 HP per level, -2, 2 HP per level. Oh, that hurts. 2 HP per level. Ow. Just ow. So that means that like level 10, we're looking at 20 more HP than what we have now. Or, well, no, 18 more HP. Level 11. We'll just do that one because that makes more sense. +20. So we're going to have 25 HP at level 11. Yeah. There are ways around this a little bit. Alright? One of them is Bear's Endurance. A Belt of Con is something we will be desperately looking for. And we will be equipping it because we need it. Alright? I'm planning on sticking with this. The lack of HP is going to hurt us early on, but later will, with our bonus to Charisma, will help. And the bonus to Dexterity will help. I would go lower, but I don't want to. I would, though, but I don't want to. Anyway, 20 Intelligence. We're a pure caster, so... there's no point in doing anything else. Like, if you're not going pure caster, you can dump this a little bit and give yourself some extra 7 points, so then you can throw that into Constitution, and actually have a strength score, and have your dexterity be 16. If you're planning on going like a Gish build. So this is basically, I just went from being Lore Master to Eldritch Knight. This is what I would do. Right? But no, I want the full, there we go. I want the full intelligence. Because, well, we're just going to be blasting the crap out of stuff. Skill points. Because I mess with stuff. This we're looking at knowledges. And why are you talking about already? Alright. All of these scale off of intelligence because we got healer, right? We will be getting... Thank you. We will be getting Lore Master, which will give us even more skill points. So we'll be maxing out religion. Yes. I want nature. The reason why you want nature on you, because you don't get anyone in your party that is decent at Lord Nature. And the ones that could be decent at Lord Nature aren't, because they have like 8 levels not invested in it. So you gotta like really work hard to get them to have that skill. Perception is always useful in everybody. Persuasion, you want persuasion on your character because reasons. Reason being, you will have diplomacy things that pop up that only you can roll on. Okay. See, this game kind of has a similar problem that the Pathfinder Kingmaker had, in that there are certain skills that you need to be charisma based on. Alright, so our first level feat, spell penetration. And then for our first Arcanist, potent magic. Potent magic, you could go potent magic, or you could go... familiar. And then there is the spells I selected. It doesn't really matter. I grab Magic Missile, Mage Armor, Shield, because I know I want those, and then just kind of randomly threw it everywhere else. Grease is important. You need to have grease. Grease and hose, man. Grease and hose. And I lost. Oh, yeah, because I played with my stats, and now I got an extra slot. And large person, because meh. Religion, we're going atheism because meh. Doesn't really matter for this character. Yeah, we're going neutral. We're gonna go neutral evil, actually. Appearance doesn't matter. Result. Name is Zarel.
Does anyone require my counsel?
So this is what we're left with. This is the character we have. This is great and all, but yeah, 5 HP. A problem. Yes, that is a problem. But other than that, I think we're good. We're pretty weak. We can get around some of that with spells, luckily. There are a few things we could do. One of the things we are going to be trying to grab. Yeah. We're probably going to be trading out one of the feats, the mythic feats, for a mythic power. Because when it comes to the mythic side of things, we want all of the abundant casting. Because we are primarily a caster. We're going to be a full caster. We're going to end up being caster level 30 by the end of this. Maybe 30 or 29, depending on where I put certain classes. Like, I could, at the end of those last 3 levels, I could, instead of going back into Arcanist, just go and, like, grab, like, a few class features that I want. Having a decent charisma. Oh, wait, that won't work. Having a decent charisma may have me go, I want to go into Scaled Fist Monk a little bit. because I think that's only a level 3 level dip to get that class feature. The one I'm thinking of is or it might be only a level. I don't know. I don't know what it is exactly. I'll have to do some research, but that's kind of up in the air. Maybe even fighter just for the bonus feats and the bonus HP at the end of the game. So we're gonna meet minimum 27 caster level. Yeah, minimum 27 caster level, maximum 30 caster level. Depends on what I want to do at that point in the game. Depends on how I'm feeling. So we're gonna be well up there in caster level. The 30 caster level, it doesn't benefit you essentially at that point because a lot of spells have caps, and I think a lot of the ones that I've seen that cap at 25. There are a few necromancy spells that don't have a cap. There are a few, but you know, it's an extra like couple d6s, 3d6s, whatever. So that's the character. That's what I'm playing. That's how I'm going to be going through this. I will be repeating a few bit of information for the first episode, but there you go. His name is Zarel. His personality is more of a... We'll do the lore, a little bit more of a lore thing going into the next video. Thank you for watching.